Hey y'all, this is AL Thick Madame and Cinnamon Sugar, and I am at home as you can see, trying to keep warm. It is cold up here in Virginia. I am not here for it. They are thinking that it's going to definitely snow a lot. They think we're going to get the snow this year, and I'm like, well, count me out. I'm not here for it. I've been lucky the last couple of years, in my opinion, because I have not had to deal with the snow. So yeah. But anyway, as y'all can see, I have my hair braided up with a couple of streaks of pink in there to acknowledge Breast Cancer Awareness Month this month. And I am very familiar with this situation. One of the most amazing women that I have ever encountered in my life had breast cancer, my aunt. And she was fearful to say anything to anybody in the family about her diagnosis until after the holidays, the year that she found out, which was the year that I left my ex. I left my ex and she found out about it, and then I left him, came home in 2011. I know I came home in 2012. And so when I left him in 2012, she found out a couple of months prior in 2011. And so that's when she told us. She actually said it over the phone once she found out I was at home, because they wanted to kind of keep it a secret that I was going to be there. And it was like, oh, your niece is here. So she was excited. And so she was like, well, let me tell you something. So while I'm outside talking to my daddy, she on the phone telling my mama what happened. And my mama get off the phone. They usually are on the phone all day. If they get off the phone, they doing something. They probably doing something real quick and, whatever, and that's it. She got off the phone and called us. My mama summoned us into the living room, the kitchen, all of that. You know what I'm saying? I forgot if she was in the living room or in the kitchen, but we were outside on the porch talking because it was a nice day, even though it was January 1st. And she told us, and I was numb, and I'm just like, what in the world? Because she is such an amazing person, and I just never understood why things like that always happens to people like her. So that actually prompted me to say, you know what, since she was strong enough to reveal what was going on with her, let me be strong enough to reveal to my parents and my siblings what I had dealt with, which was being raped and my cancer diagnosis, which was not breast. I've already done a video on it, but yeah, I don't want to talk about it. It's gonna make me emotional. I'm already kind of emotional just thinking about it. But anyway, so that actually allowed me to discuss it, because I had no intentions of ever even saying anything about any of this stuff. My mom knew about the molestation. My daddy didn't. So I was able to tell the entire family instead of just only my mama and my aunt knowing, because it was my aunt's husband, who is deceased, who did what he did to me. I didn't say anything because I felt like my daddy was going to go crazy, because my daddy don't play by me. I'm a daddy's girl. So yeah, y'all, because of my aunt's bravery with dealing with breast cancer, it allowed me to share my cancer diagnosis. And also this month is special to me because one of my closest friends, two of my closest friends, their moms have and had breast cancer. The one that lives here in Virginia, her mom had it, and she passed away not long after she graduated from high school. And she and I have such a close connection because of that, and really because of the fact that her mom and uncle, which are twins, and my grandmother all share the same birthday. My grandmother is deceased, but I always can remember her mom's birthday because of that. And so her uncle has always been nice to me. I have my nickname because of him, and I have a interesting Alabama nickname because of him. And you know what I'm saying? So there is that connection. And also, like I was telling you, I have another friend. Her mom has cancer, has breast cancer, and she's been fighting, and she's in remission, and we're hoping that it stays that way. And it was very touch and go last year. And but so far so good. She's been doing well, and we are hopeful that she will continue to stick it out and be all right. So anyway, y'all, now that I've gotten that out of the way, let me tell y'all about what's been going on, because I am very stressed. I'm trying not to show it, but I've been sleeping since I got off work. I came home, I had a movie prepared to watch to start off my day. And if I was going to sleep, I planned on sleeping on and off. I mean, I was going to set my alarm, get up, do all this other stuff, because I have a lot of stuff I have to do. I was going to go get my oil change, but y'all, it is so cold here today. I was like, no, when I go, I'm going to go later on in the day. I woke up in enough time to go and do it. At the same time, I wanted to literally leave out to do it and go by my P.O. box and pick up some stuff. But I was just like, I can't. I'm freezing. And I'm cold, y'all. I got the heat on right now. It's burning my leg. It's burning my knee. And I like it like that. I like it like that. And, but I was just like, nah, I'm finna go back to sleep. Like, wintertime, fall, that makes me want to go into hibernation. And that's exactly what I did earlier. So, woke up maybe 2-3 hours ago. And then I got on video chat, was talking to my family. And we had a great conversation. And I was talking with the guy who lives 3 hours away. Y'all, when I tell y'all, I cannot wait to tell y'all more details about him, especially if things actually start panning out. Y'all are going to be like, wait a minute now. Wait. Y'all going to be like, wait a minute. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I can really tell y'all right now. But just so y'all know, so far so good. I'm still liking him. He is being so sweet to me, and I just can't believe he seems unreal to me. I tell him several times a week that he is unreal. Like, you are not a real person. You are a catfish. All the time. He was like, I'm just a regular guy. No, you're not. But anyway, so let me tell y'all about what's been going on, what I can tell y'all about. So if you don't want to, you ain't got to go get your snacks just yet, because there are going to be some things. I'm debating on if I need to pull out my laptop, because I don't know. I want to kind of, you know what? I might go ahead and pull it up on my laptop, because the last part of what I'm going to tell y'all going to need to get y'all snacks. Y'all might want to go and get your snacks. Because, yeah. Let me get my laptop, because I think I want to pull it up and give y'all exact things. As much exact information as I can give. I'm just not going to give dates, okay? And the name and all the other stuff. But I'm going to be right back. Okay, y'all, so I have it pulled up, so all I got to do is go right to it and start listing off some stuff. I'm going to click on some of them to give y'all more explanations. But yeah, once I get there, y'all will know. So anyway, all I've been doing is working and coming home, running my errands in between, paying my bills. That's all I've been doing. But a lot has been going on, y'all. I'm highly stressed. Very, very stressed. This is a crazy situation that I cannot discuss at this point in time. When the time is right, which will be within the next couple of weeks or so, I should be able to give y'all more information, because it should come full circle by then, okay? It might not be all the way complete in a sense, but for the most part, I should be able to, tell y'all. Just pray for me. I don't want to come to y'all and ask y'all for donations or anything like that. I'm trying to do everything on my own. You would have to just say, I'm a trust that she is gonna tell me something that is going to move me enough to do that. And I haven't been doing recap reviews, so I feel like it's not right of me to... I don't feel like it's right for me to come to y'all and ask y'all for anything when I ain't been giving y'all nothing. Except just telling y'all about what's been going on in my life, and that's it. Like, to me, the reason why I even came on here was to have an escape from my ex, even while we were living together, to talk about different TV shows. And I haven't even been doing that lately. And I have a great reason as to why, outside of the gas generator and all that stuff going on, y'all. Hold on, I need to readjust myself. Okay, I keep being about to burn myself. That's why I got to keep readjusting myself. So anyway, y'all, work been crazy. I already told y'all before that we had a meeting. I went off I didn't even go off in the meeting. I went off on the maintenance man. Then not long after that, we had a meeting. I was pissed off in the meeting before the meeting even started, but I was so proud of everybody in that room who spoke up, including the lead. And I was just like, wow, this wasn't a situation where I had to bear the burden of it all on my back as usual. Because usually what happens is everybody will tell me all their grievances and I will add on mine and I will come to them throughout the meeting when the questions section of it all pops up, or I will wait to the end depending on how dire the situation is, and I don't want to make everybody else have to stay over when they're ready to go home or they got to go back to work or whatever they're doing. Well, everybody was setting it off to a degree that I was like, wow, I ain't even have to say nothing. I didn't even have to bring nothing up. Y'all, like, I'm telling y'all, I'm so stressed for real to where I didn't set up here. This is dried blood. Like, I know it might sound nasty. I understand. But it's dried blood. I ain't even had no pimple right here. I don't think I ever had a pimple right here. I just scratched myself or something. And I was like, what is going on right here? I didn't know what it was because I watched my face. I was like, what is this the other day? Dried up blood. So I got to heal that and then allow that to do what it need to do. This keep breaking out. Y'all, I just been eating bad. Like, and I ain't finna lie to y'all. I've been so stressed that I've been eating really, really bad. And in my feelings, it's stressed to the max. And again, like I said, I feel like it would be tacky and tasteless of me to try to get y'all to send me any money, especially since I haven't been doing what I'm on here to do, which is to talk to y'all about mainly TV shows and movies and things like that I have seen that I want to give my opinion on, or I just want to talk about, because most of my friends don't watch the stuff I watch, and I be wanting to talk about it. I really do. Like, it's been really, really bad to the point where I haven't been seeing anybody else's recap reviews for months. I think I'm behind on some shows that then came back because I don't even realize they didn't came back. Like, that's how stressed I am. Like, that's how unaware I am as well. Like, so much is going on, y'all. But in due time, definitely before the end of this year and maybe before the end of November for sure, I'm going to be able to tell y'all about that high stress situation. But in the meantime, in between time, I'm going to give y'all the next best thing. So let me tell y'all about what's been going on. Let me continue, okay? You're probably going to need your tea and drinks and, snacks by the end of this once I tell you the second half. I'm going to try not to be before you very long, but I just need to put that out there. Okay, y'all. So anyway, so this meeting went on. Everybody's setting it off. I'm here for it, okay? Even when it was over with, I still had some grievances I needed to air out, and they were thankful that I did what I did. I told y'all the next day I had to talk to HR. Well, y'all know I had to talk to HR. That's what happened. I had to talk to HR a couple of days after that. That's what it was. I'm saying it wrong. We had the meeting because I had been fighting all week. Fighting stuff. And then eventually, the day after the meeting, set it off. So I had to call. I texted the guy from HR asking him was he available and all that, because I wanted to make sure I saw his face. So I need to talk to him on the phone or whatever. And the person that's over the maintenance, not even the supervisor, because I'd already talked to the supervisor. The person that's over that supervisor rolled up on me because he was one of the people that headed up the meeting that I had just attended the day prior. He asked me, was I okay, if I needed anything and all this other stuff. And so, you know what I'm saying? People are coming to me and they're seeing, like, I'm fed up. I've definitely reached my breaking point. I have never in my entire years, I'm finna be 40 soon. I ain't never in my life been on no job where I had to go off on nobody. Normally, I can hold my mule, I can ignore you, but he just kept trying to test my gangster all day. And I can't stand somebody that want to come over and try to act like they're doing something. And I'm like, you over here adjusting stuff that don't need to be adjusted. You doing stuff, you tearing up stuff. You about to mess up something that's already been working well for me all day. I've been able to keep my side operational because of what I've been doing. I haven't even had to talk to you. I ain't had to even call you all day. If I did, it was for something that was completely unrelated to where you keep going to. So anyway, y'all, told y'all I didn't already had to go off on this man. About a week and a half later, this other dude went off on him. I ain't even know, because I'm on the whole nother side. Not having no issues. Any issues that are going on, I'm addressing them myself because I'm trying my best not to have to call maintenance. As soon as this man cussed the maintenance man out, he walked over to me and was like, man, I just had to cuss him out. I was like, what you mean? What happened? He said that man walked up to him and was like, you need to use your eyes. You need to open your eyes. You need to use your eyes. And he said, he looked at him and thought about what he said, because, you know, after everything had been said and done, he told me that he'd been like kind of holding back. Because he was like, he's been saying slick stuff, but he been letting him slide because he know how he really could get down and he need this job. He got like 3 kids and he ain't trying to lose this job. He works a whole lot so he can provide for his kids and keep himself afloat. And it's just a lot of stuff going on. So anyway, he's just trying to not even go there because he know that he used to be in the life. He's even told me that he used to be out there and he trying not to go that way no more. But some people be trying him and he just be like, you don't know where I came from. So he told me that he went off on him. He told me, you need to open your MF and eyes and all this other stuff. He said he cussed that man out and walked away. And I was like, no. He was like, yeah, you don't come over here saying nothing crazy to me. I called you over here to fix something. Obviously something wrong. If I got on the radio and called you, I was like, it's not me. It is not me. Because I already know it ain't me. But it was just to the point that even 2 hours after I went off on that man, I was still shaking. I had left the building and was still shaking. After I talked to the man from HR, I done got off the phone and everything, I'm shaking. Like, I done slowed my driving down. I'm trying to make sure I can keep it in the road all of that. I'm still shaking because that's how infuriated I was. I have never gotten to that level. Ain't nobody never made me reach that breaking point before. Never thought I would see the day. But yeah, he done went off. He done cussed him out. So they came to a resolution. The man wrote up on him, was like, man, so what are we going to do? Are we going to squash it, or, you know, what are we going to do? He was like, I would rather squash it, because he told me straight up, he was like, he don't want it with him. He was like, we can go up the street to this gas station and go in the bathroom, duke it out. And of course I'm going to win. And I'm like, yeah, he going to have to go home and try to explain to his wife why his face is blown up, swollen like that. Like, so what is we gonna do? So he was like, I just want to squash it. Like, just don't come and be sideways no more. Because he really began slicking the mouth. And it's like, you're here to do a job. You're getting paid to do a specific job. Why are you? Oh, and then a lot of them have that issue where they just feel like, well, I don't want to come do this. Well, if you don't want to do the job, you need to go on ahead and leave so that there can be people who can come in and get trained and do what they need to do. Because I'm sick of you. So anyway, y'all, that situation popped off. We just had another meeting on Monday. Well, I went to that particular one on Monday. I went to the very first one they had. Our department was not operational, but we did everything we were supposed to do. And a lot of us were like, man, we want to just go and get this meeting out of the way and not have to deal with nothing. Like, y'all, when I tell y'all we did so much stuff, I can't even believe how much we got done. We set the next shift up so good that I'm like, despite all this work we've done, they still gonna find a way to complain. And they did. And I'm just like, there's nothing to say. Like, all you gotta literally do is come in and go. But y'all, every day we come in to emails, text messages, and everything else that had been sent talking about how terrible of a shift, no matter which night shift is working, they always come up with something saying, this is a problem, this is a problem. They will find an issue to say something about. There is no teamwork, and that's why I just playfully say, but what about teamwork? And as soon as they said that, me and my friend looked at each other, because I always say that to him. Like, I'm being serious, but I really say it in a joking way, because most of them people don't work together. They would rather work against you and try to drop a dime on you to save themselves instead of, you know, actually engaging in teamwork. Like, we are here at this job to do what we need to do, get this check and go home. Why can't we work together for the same common goal? Child, anyway, so we done had the second meeting, which was another waste of time. And I was just like, child, whatever. They talking about, they're not going to have the, they're rolling out as of the 22nd. They're going to be rolling out the no forced overtime. Child, they doing the most. It still ain't doing no good, because if it's your normal day to work, like my days are Tuesdays through Thursdays, whenever I'm not doing the fill-in job. If they need me to come here early or to stay over, I'm still getting drafted, because that's my normal day to work. The way it was prior to this, how they did it for the other group of people when they were trying to, you know, test it out. It was, if it was your no force week, then you could not be drafted to work over, come in early, or work on your days off. The only thing that they've implemented is you cannot be drafted to work on your days off. You have to volunteer if you want to get it or try to get it. And that's it. And I'm just like, that ain't helping me. Like, y'all think y'all did something, but y'all didn't. But go off though. So anyway, they ain't really talk about much of nothing. And then I don't even want to go into it. I'm gonna try to wait on that because they usually have a raffle, and we had to do this survey this time in order to, get the ticket. Normally when we walk in the door, they give everybody a ticket. Then they shake them up and you put in yours. You get 2 tickets, and they have 4 things that they do a raffle for, and you can, put it in whichever one you really want the most out of them 2 or whatever. If you want that one particular thing, you can put them in both of them, however you want to do it. Yeah, somebody who did not deserve nothing, who don't deserve to be there, who needed to have been fired once some things have been revealed, still their child. When I tell y'all, once I get to telling y'all what this dude done did, y'all gonna be like, he need to be in jail or some more. So anyway, but yeah, work has been, this week actually has been a great week, but last week was some trash. I don't think I said it, but I worked my normal work week, which is Tuesday through Saturday. And I got off at 8 a.m., came home, went to sleep eventually. And I still had to be back up at work at 8 p.m. to start the shift where I had to fill in for people. Because in their minds, at the first meeting we had, instead of them acknowledging that the main issues that we're having and the reason why we are losing contracts is because maintenance ain't doing what they supposed to do, in their minds, they said, we're going to retrain people. So they're pulling one person every week to retrain on one of the daytime shifts. And so I'm just like, oh, okay. Alrighty. So anyway, that's what they've been doing. This was the first week. So I had to go straight into the work week. So I worked from Tuesday of last week up until Wednesday at 2 a.m. of this week. So I worked. I'm tired. So I pulled all them 12s and all that, y'all. I'm tired, but I need the money. It is what it is. And I think I said it already. Like, that's why, a lot of stuff going on. And I need every penny that I can get. And like I said, I'm not going to ask y'all for nothing because I haven't been providing nothing for y'all. I have not been doing no recap review, so it's like it's not fair for me to ask y'all for nothing, despite what I might be going through. So yeah, y'all, let me go ahead and get to the meat and potatoes. Hopefully, I can wrap this up real quick. So, I don't remember if y'all remember me telling y'all this or not, but the not so divorced man had a trial that came up. Okay, his trial happened not too long ago, right? So, before I get to that, it's still in the same vein. I'm looking at the normal schedule, right? And I look on his shift. I don't know why, because my name ain't finna be on there because I'm so low on the rotation list. I already know you ain't got the audacity to put me on here talking about you need me to work to come in early or none of that. So for some reason, my eyes went straight to theirs for the week. I'm looking and I don't know why. And I look in the vacation and off and, whatever area. I see the not so divorced man name plastered all across vacation. I'm looking like, wait a minute. Spidey senses started tingling. I said, is it October? And it dawned on me. I said, oh, this must be the big trial. And he don't know if he going to get locked up or not. So he took off. And that's exactly what it was. And once I remembered it, y'all, I remembered it. And I went straight because I was still on my break and I was about to get off my break. I went, looked at my phone, looked his information up. He had just had his trial the day prior, y'all. So this is what happened. So I don't remember if I told y'all or not, but he got arrested for a second DUI. That's why he didn't, show up when he was supposed to show up last year, right? Okay, so he got arrested for that. And I thought they were going to continue it again because his record, it shows like a lot of continuances, or they just kept releasing him on his own recognizance and all this other stupidity on some charges that in my mind, I'm like, why is we letting him walk? He need to serve some time. He need to do something. Child. So he got, he had a DWI, and they continued it. Then they continued it. And then this time they said, yeah, we ain't gonna keep continuing it. He had a plea of guilty. And since he went on ahead and pled guilty, he got suspended. He ended up getting a sentence of 12 months in jail. So at first I was like, but then I looked down to the next line and they suspended 11 of those months. So he has to serve 1 month in jail. And he has like $1,500 in fines, court costs and all that stuff he got to pay. And that ain't including everything he been paying to the lawyer. So I'm like, wait a minute, y'all done went off. And so it's funny because I don't know if it's going to pop up on here because on my phone, wait a minute, it might pop up. It might pop up. I want to see. Yes, it came up. So they have a whole sequence of how everything went. The pleadings, the orders, and all that. So it says paperwork, certificate of analysis, subpoena, restitution order, restitution victim information, continuous order. That was the first time. Continuous order. They did it again. Then he had a notice. So then it jumped to this month and said jail card. So I was like, wait a minute, baby. And then it said sentencing order, which is when he actually got sentenced. So yeah, y'all, I'm just like, wait a minute. Now this is what tripped me out. I hadn't seen him right, and I just told y'all his name was splashed all across. I'm talking about just splattered all across their vacation all throughout the whole week of whatever days he worked, right? The next day, I saw his car in the parking lot. I was like, wait a minute, baby. In a whole nother parking spot that I've never seen him park in this area at all. Ever. Never seen him park in this particular part of the parking lot ever before. He parked there. Now he does back in, but I ain't never seen him park over there. So I was like, first of all, why are you here? Because it said you was out all week. Okay. Because I'm pretty sure he was trying to get his affairs in order, thinking that he was finna get up out of here because he had a guilty sentence. And you already know a lot of the times these lawyers know exactly how it's finna go. Like it's gonna go one or two ways. Either they're gonna give you the whole year, or you might just get off with these 30 days. But how you gonna get it go? I don't know. Reminds me of the Project Pat song I be telling y'all about. Man, I'm finna run with these 30 days. I don't know how many of y'all know about that Project Pat song. It was a hot summer's night. I was kicking it with Gangsta Fred. Listen. He used to trip me out. Project Pat was so hilarious to me. Because it's like, he always would tell a story, and it was just like a lot of times the way he would say it would be funny, but it was real life situations. And so that's why in my mind, I'm like, I respect it. Because you telling us a story. You telling us all what you've been going through. Project Pat stayed going to jail. He was a product of his environment. And eventually, despite him not trying to, be this famous rapper, in my opinion, he went further than his brother. And he's the one who actually wanted to be the rapper. And just in case you don't know who his brother is, Juicy J. So anyway, I digress. But it just reminded me about them 30 days. I was like, yeah, man, I'm finna run with these 30 days. If you know the little story and stuff he was saying in the thing, it's like he was talking to somebody. And they asked him, how much time you got? He was like, oh, man, that's straight. I'm finna run with these 30 days. I think he said 90. I'm about to run with these 90 days. It was 90 days on the song, but I'm saying 30 days for him. My bad. So anyway, y'all. But this is what killed me. Now, I told y'all before when he was trying to holler at me. For those of y'all who are new, when I say the not so divorced man, there was a man at my job. There is a man at my job who he came like a year after I started working there. Year and a half after I started working there. And he came, was doing the same job I'm doing. I had no idea that his home department was my home department because every time I finally did start seeing him, he was in every other department but mine. So then one day they placed us together. So then we got to talking because he rolled up on me and was like, hey, how you doing? I was like, I'm fine. How are you? And it was just normal work stuff. And that was it. And then eventually he came to me and was like, hey, whatever. And he was trying to make conversation. He was telling me about his family, told me he had been married I was like, okay. This was like the 2nd year anniversary then. I was like, okay then. Told me he had a son with the woman. I was like, all right, cool, all right. So then, not long after that, like, I don't even think 2-3 months after that happened. Eventually he started telling me, he with her, but he's not happy, and he only married her. Essentially, he only married her so that. Wait a minute. He only married her because she had never been married before, and he didn't want her out here looking crazy. Because is this what I think it is? This is what I think it is. Wait a minute. Oh, okay, that was something else. I'm sorry, y'all. I got a notification. I thought I was gonna have something else to talk about, but yeah, that's not it. But he told me he'd married her because she'd never been married before, and he didn't want her out here looking crazy because she had a baby out of wedlock already. And then that was her first child. And, he just didn't want her out here looking crazy. So he made the mistake of marrying her and had no business marrying her. Like, I don't know why people say, oh, well, you got a baby, I need to marry you because I got you pregnant. Like, no, what is with the shotgun weddings and things? People need to stop that. That don't mean y'all are meant to be together just because y'all got a baby together. Anyway, he told me all of this, and he was like, yeah, I'm gonna get divorced and all this other stuff. Eventually, he told me he was gonna get divorced. He'd already told me that he had side chicks and all this other stuff. So I'm like, oh, okay. Now, keep in mind, he already knows I don't deal with married men. He was well aware of this. So eventually he started hitting on me and telling me how fine I am and all this other stuff. And I'm right up his alley. And I'm like, okay. They ain't got nothing to do with me. And I told him I'm single and not looking. And he was like, you don't need to be like that. I could tell you're an amazing woman, blah, blah, blah. Yakety smackety. This man had gone so far as to eventually start telling me he wants to travel with me when I go home to Alabama so that he can meet my father, so he can ask permission from him to date me, and then eventually come back again and ask to marry me. This would be long after he had got divorced. I mean, he'd be doing the most. We on FaceTime and all this other stuff talking. After, let's make sure I clarify that, after his wife left. And so, like, even when they were still married, we were walking together because I have told, when I was doing the married man side heifer saga, he was one of the married men that I was discussing because things were actively happening. He was doing stuff. So we were walking after work from time to time. We were walking together because we both were trying to just, be healthy or whatever. He has diabetes real bad. And so I've been told him that I got to start back walking. He was like, oh, okay, well, I know a spot. Blah, blah, blah. I mean, it's a nice area. And we were genuinely walking with no funny business going on, none of that. So his wife ended up moving out of the house, took everything but the couch and their child's baby bed. And he would get on FaceTime. He showed me the empty house. He would show me when he was outside watching his son play, all this other stuff, y'all. So anyway, I knew that, she was gone. But he kept telling me he was getting divorced. And I was like, well, you can't keep trying to ask me out on no date and you ain't got no divorce decree in hand. Because I know what a divorce decree look like. Because of my stint as a social worker, I'm looking at him like, you're going to have to present me with a divorce decree. I don't care nothing about what you're talking about. Well, it gets to a point where we on the phone and we talking, whether we on the phone or FaceTime, I would make a point to, at random times, bring up wife. Say the word wife. Will your wife this? Will your wife that? You know what I'm saying? And it would actually flow within the conversation. So I'm thinking I'm finna catch him off guard. He'll be like, I don't have a wife. We are divorced. I filed for divorce this month. I got divorced this month. The divorce papers at the house. The divorce decree at the house. So I'm like, okay. I'm not believing him. So for 6 to 9 months, I kept on bringing it up, kept on saying it. I kept spreading it out so it wouldn't seem like it was predictable anymore. He would be right on the money every single time. So then I'm inclined to believe this man is divorced. Come to find out, he never got divorced from this woman. She just moved out, still had a key. And I don't know if she ever was dropping by, but he said he wasn't having sex with her no more. He wasn't having no more side chicks because he really wanted me. He's talking about he wanted to be with me. And he had moments where our shifts ended up being completely different. He got another position at the same job we work at, and his shift ended up changing. His days changed. And so he ended up, from time to time, he came over to my place like 2-3 times. One day he had gotten off work and came over there because he was going to be in the area anyway. One day he came from home to do it, meaning to come to me. And instead of him having on regular clothes, he had on his work clothes. So I should have known then that that was a red flag. But I was like, no. Mm-mm. But he did it 2 different times where he had came from work. It was a day he was off. Came from home with work clothes on. Not finna go into work. So I should have known then that something was afoot. But I didn't think nothing of it. But the other times he really had just came from work. He was frustrated. Stuff be popping off at work. So he knows that I would know exactly what he's talking about. So he would come over and vent to me. There were times that he was very upset. He came to me one time after his mom passed away and he hadn't been getting no sleep. And so we went out to cookout. He wanted to go get something to eat. I was like, well, okay, where you want to go? And it was getting late. So I was like, might as well just do cookout, whatever. So he got me what I wanted. He got what he wanted. And we came back to my place and we ate and we talked for a little while. He ended up going to sleep. He had been sleeping since his mom passed away. So I was like, okay. He needed that rest. So I let him sleep. And he slept for some hours. So I'm thinking, dang, that's really sad. It took his mom passing away for him to be consistent with me after his relationship ended. This is what I'm thinking. His relationship is over. The marriage is over. It's not. So anyway, all of a sudden, his wife took the pictures that she had on her profile off of hidden or whatever she had done, because she done moved back in with her son, their son, and all of the things that she had already removed from the home and everything else. So now he's back at the house, back there taking care of her again, and all this other stuff. I'm left out of the loop. I don't know what's going on. To this day, this man has not addressed me about that night when he never showed up, because at that time he was still not with the wife. He talking about to the point where, well, she's gonna have to understand that I'm dating you because she's gonna see your car there. And I know for right now she's popping up, but she's going to have to stop doing that once we become a couple. And she's going to have to understand that at some point in time, I'm going to be bringing you around our son. Well, I'm going to be bringing you around our son, yeah, in reference to her. Child, I was just like, okay, all right. And so it's like he just wanted to warn me. I was like, look here, I don't really care. All I know is when I do have moments and I'm coming to your place, I don't have time for my windows to be bust out, ties to be blown, none of that stupidity, because she crazy. Because he told me straight up that she crazy. And I'm like, that's fine and dandy. But if y'all ain't together no more, then she need to get a handle on her emotions and don't be tearing up my stuff. Because if she tear up my stuff, one or both of y'all gonna get to fixing it. That's all I know. I don't have time for it. Like, don't play with me. I'm not trying to be in no situation with nobody and I got to sit up here and be in some drama with the mama. For what? I'm not harming y'all's child. I'm not doing nothing detrimental to nobody. Y'all ain't together no more. So go heal and go on about your business. Because this man been asking me out for the last year and a half, while he was still married to her. And then when he had divorced her, he was still asking to my, oh, those would be really nice for you to wear on our date. Some boots that I had gotten in the mail, y'all. I don't even know what I did with them boots. Them was some cute boots, though, y'all. Oh, my gosh. I don't even know what I did with them. They somewhere around here. I think they're in my trunk. I don't know. But anyway, I knew I wasn't going to be wearing them no time soon, but they were some really cute boots that I got for a deep discount. And I saw them one day right before we was going to go walking. And so I was so excited. When I get packages, I be want to open them right then and there. I didn't have time when I was on my way to work. So I was like, oh no, I'm looking at these. He was like, you ain't getting out the car yet? I was like, hold on, I'm opening this package up. So he watched me. He was like, what is she doing? Saw me opening up the shoes. He was like, oh, those some nice boots. You look real nice and all. I was like, sir. So yeah, y'all. But anyway, I just had to get that rundown for those of y'all who ain't been here and didn't know what was going on. But yeah, this is a married man. He is still married right now. But he tried to lead me to believe that he had gotten divorced. Been telling me that the divorce was finalized now over a year. But was lying the whole time. The wife's still there. He's still married. He never filed nothing. So I found out on accident when somebody that I'm cool with at work was talking to me and told me that he rolled up on her. And prior to all this, I kept trying to pass him off on to other people. I'm like, look, this person might be here for that situation. Especially when he still had side chicks. I'm like, you might need to go ahead and talk to them because it's obvious that they into you. There were several women who were into him because he's not no ugly dude. Like, he's not. But the person that he was trying to hit on that I know, that he didn't know that I'm cool with, she was like, he ain't my type. But she just randomly started telling me about the situation. I didn't bring him up. Like, I was keeping our whole situation on the hush. Nobody at my job knew that I had any affiliation with him outside the fact that we used to work directly together because we worked in the same department, and that was it. So she telling me how he done rolled up, and I'm like, and I'm debating in my mind, should I even say anything to her? Like, girl. So I'm like, you know what? Eventually I said to her, I was like, this is so crazy to me that you're telling me this because this man has been trying to get at me since the day he stepped in the door. He has been gunning for me since the day he stepped in the door. He been wanting me since the day he stepped in the door. Man told me out his own mouth. He saw me when I ain't even see him. He said, well, I first saw you one day you had to stay over. And I was working in the most hated department. And you had to come over there. And I saw you. I guess you didn't see me. I didn't even know he was there. I ain't even gonna lie to y'all. I didn't even know they had no other class where they were training people to come up there and do nothing. I ain't even know. I ain't see him for like the first couple of weeks, maybe even month of him being there. Then eventually they moved him over and had him doing stuff over there. And I thought he was working in the side helpers department so much. I thought that was his home department. I didn't even know. But anyway, it was just a lot going on. And I was just like, what? He was like, yeah, I've been watching you. I've been had my eye on you. Since I first got here, since my first day, I saw you. I was like, yeah, that's exactly how I was looking at him. So anyway, y'all, it was a mess. I'm mad because since his mom passed away and all that, I had been debating on whether or not I was going to tell him about my situation, which is that my mom has become paralyzed. So for those of y'all who are new, it took me a while to finally come clean to the people that do follow me on here, that are subscribed to my channel, that the reason why I'm so hurt and out of it and just not my normal self is because I found out that my mom had become paralyzed. My mama cannot walk. She's bedridden. And nobody knows whether or not she will be able to walk again. She still has not decided whether or not she's going to get surgery because she's already going to be high risk. She's overweight. She's of a certain age. And it's not guaranteed to work because they could go through this surgery. My mama could live despite her age and, high risk and all that stuff. And she could still be in the same situation that she's in right now, or it can go even worse, which in my mind is like, well, dang, what, she ain't gonna have no feeling in the rest of her body at this point? Like, I don't know. But anyway, there's a small chance that she actually can walk again, but we don't know if it would be smart for her to go through with the surgery. So she has not made that decision. It's been 2 years, y'all. So yeah, it's a lot. So that's what he knows how. The thing is that he's very manipulative. He's a narcissist. He's all of these things. And he knows how rah-rah and how into my daddy I am because I don't play about my daddy. I'm a daddy's girl. He knows that I am so about my daddy. And I want my family to be proud of me and all of that. And I just feel like I failed. My whole life, I just feel like I've been a failure. Every time I look up, nothing has gone the way that I have been intending it to go. And I just feel like a failure. And I'm like, dang, I can't even get my love life right. Like, what in the world? So, in his mind, he see it as an opportunity to gaslight me and all this other stuff, talking about he want to talk to my daddy, he want to do all this. And see, I'm actually used to that. To me, because of what my parents told me that they did, I welcome that because that's what my daddy did. He went straight to my grandmama, was like, hey, I want to take your daughter out. I want to court her. And that's what he did. And then when he wanted to marry my mama, he rolled up on her and her brothers and sisters and all of that and then did the same thing. And so in my mind, I'm like, well, that's normalcy to me. So I was actually shocked that he wanted to meet my daddy and, shoot the breeze, talk to him, get to know him, and all this other stuff. You want to travel with me? I already told you I don't like driving. I don't even want to fly. I don't want to do none of that. But he talking about no matter what form of transportation is taken, let me know the next time you take off so I can take off with you and go with you and all this other stuff. Like, he done did the most, y'all. Just lying. So anyway, let me get back to some more of these charges. So yeah, those are the most recent charges that I told y'all about, which are DWI. Oh, let me see if I can find that. So if I can't find it, I'll just tell you what it's supposed to be. He is supposed to turn over his driver's license, and he did not. So far, it's still up here saying that he has not surrendered his license. He wasn't even supposed to be driving when I first met him, when he first started working there, but he's been driving without a license. Then one day we were talking, he was like, yeah, man, I gotta go get my license. And it had been like a year then, because he had already had a DWI situation prior to coming there. I didn't know that. The only thing he had ever told me about was some kind of him being a getaway driver when he was living somewhere else. So of course that information was not available to me. Oh, but he has a plethora of things that he's done here in Virginia. Let me go back and tell you about him. So yeah, his license has been suspended for 3 years, so he's gonna have to turn that over. They're gonna put him on probation. I don't know for how long. They don't have that up here yet. My friend said that this county is very slow about stuff like that. He got a public intoxication charge. He had a refusal to do the breathalyzer and blood test one time when he had gotten stopped. I think, yep, this is him because this is his birthday. There was a robbery situation that happened. I think this is what he was telling me about. Is this it? I don't remember. He got a guilty plea of that, and he had to do probation for 5 years. He got sentenced to 10 years. So it was here, y'all. He got sentenced to 10 years in jail. The penitentiary. The pen. 10 years for that. Okay. And he was supposed to be under supervised probation. He only had to serve 5 years. So, like, I guess with good behavior and all that, I don't know how much time he really had to serve, but he had to go to the pen for this robbery. He was supposed to be, I think this is the situation where he was telling me that he was the getaway driver or something like that, right? Okay. He had to pay over $2,000 and some dollars in fines. He finally had paid all of that up in 2017. Y'all, there were some fines and stuff and some of the other stuff that he just finished paying. He ended up getting early release from probation, y'all. This was in 2018. Now, all this stuff first happened in 2004. So, yeah, y'all, it was a lot of stuff going on. But, yeah, this was the only thing he'd ever told me about. And it's funny because it's got this man's middle name on here. You would never think that was his middle name. But I only know that this is actually him because it has his birth date up there. So that's the only reason why I know it's him. Because there's one other person with his first and last name, and it's just like one random charge, but the rest of them him. Assault and battery, y'all. Assault and battery happened in the early 2000s. And the case went on for like 3-4 years. And it was him, assault and battery. He got bail. They eventually ended up dismissing the case. Okay? He pleaded guilty. All right. Let me see what else. Another one, another one. Burglary while armed. I think that was still a part of that same case. And yeah, burglary while armed. They took him into custody. It was a felony charge. He got sentenced for this one. He had a 20-year sentence. But with this one, he ended up getting 15 years of that suspended and he had to go to the pen again. Probation, when he was going to get out, was going to be supervised for 5 years. And I'm just like, you ain't tired? Like, now you 45, 46, 47, you ain't tired. You ain't tired of going to jail and to the pen. I wouldn't want to go to the pen every time I turn around. So yeah, y'all, this was a part of that same case, the robbery. He said he was a getaway driver, but I don't know about that right about now with all these charges, because you done did the most. He had an obstruction of justice situation that popped off in 2019. The indictment came down, and this is one of the ones where they eventually let him go on his own recognizance. And I'm just like, why y'all letting him go? I'm confused. Why y'all keep just letting him go? He had like 2 of those. He had a failure to stop incident that happened. I think they let him go on his own recognizance because of that. He had one that was a possession with some kind of possession charge. I don't think with this particular one there was an intent to distribute. This got dismissed. They kept on continuing it for 2 years. And finally, after 2 years, and they kept going to trial, doing all this, eventually they dismissed it. He got bail, got out, when all that stuff did happen initially when they first arrested him. He lost his license for 6 months then, and he ended up paying almost $600 in court costs. He just paid all that off in 2021, even though everything first popped off in 2019. Yeah. Y'all, he stayed doing the most. Obstruction of justice again without force. So they let him go on his own recognizance because of that. The first DUI happened in 2019. Let me tell y'all how ignorant Virginia is. Well, I mean, how lucky he is because he's in Virginia. Let me put it like that. They did a couple of continuances, and then they were just like, we're not finna keep on continuing this case. They ended up giving him... I'm trying to see where it is because they ain't put it all up here. He got bail and got out, right? I think they let him go and put him on probation. Hold on, let me see if I'll put it up on this part. Because usually it's up in the part that I'm looking at. Nope, they don't have it on here. If I would have been looking at my phone, it would have came up because it came up the other day. But anyway, I think they let him go and they gave him some probation. For some reason, nothing is coming up here for that. But yeah, that was his first time. I think he served 30 days then. But the sentence was way less initially or something like that. But yeah, this was in 2019, beginning of 2019. So I'm like, what is wrong with you? But yeah, that was the first DWI. They had taken the license then. And this was the same license that he wasn't even supposed to have. So yeah, y'all. And then he's done other things when he wasn't living here. So I'm just like, what's wrong with you? Public intoxication, swearing. I think I told y'all that. He had a safety belt violation. Is that the same person? This might be the person. I'm telling y'all it's different. Let me see. Nope. That's him. So he had a safety belt violation. They waived all that stuff, and he just had to pay a $25 fine. And he lucky that that's all that was, because they be doing the most when it comes to everything else. Is that the same man who be pulling me over? I don't know. I don't remember his name anymore. I'm trying not to get. I just keep my speedometer on. You ain't finna get me. Reckless driving. He had a reckless driving in 2020. He had a public defender then, but this was one of the instances where he was released on his own recognizance, and I was just like, they kept continuing the case. Kept continuing it for like a year. And at first, this was another one. This was like the second half of 2019, leading into everything that was going on with COVID and all that stuff. So he ended up getting out on bail. Yep. He got released. Well, he got released on his own recognizance that day. But it's definitely him. It's his birthday, all of that. And it was a misdemeanor. Despite that, it's still on his record. It's a misdemeanor. And he just stayed. I don't know what's going on, y'all. I really feel like this is not going to be his last time. Because he's working where we work. This is probably the most amount of money that he's ever gotten. And that's the only reason why he's been able to afford this lawyer. He got to serve 30 days. My friend told me that the only way he going to be able to keep his job is if he's able to get personal leave. And I'm like, well, part of me want to be petty and be like, well, hopefully he don't know nothing about that. And when he go in, all his time gonna be up anyway. He ain't got no more vacation time after the little vacation time that he was taking off. He ain't got no more time. Ain't no way. Because his mama already passed away. He gonna have to lie about bereavement to get bereavement. That's just 3 days of my job. Paid. Like, he's not gonna be able to get no more paid time off outside of line talking about somebody died or something like that. That's the only way. He ain't got no more time. Ain't no way. It's about to be the end of the year. Most people use up all of theirs. So, but anyway, y'all, that was the most recent update of those things. I can't tell you about the other stuff yet, but just know it's going to be some foolishness. But yeah, he got a laundry list of things. He had only told me about that particular time and told me he served some years in the pen. And I respected the fact that he told me that. But it's like, you told me the truth up until you just started continuously lying about being married. You told me that you had gotten divorced. Why lie? And even if you really were going to go through with it and then y'all changed your mind, something happened, why didn't you just tell me that that was the situation? Like when all of this stuff went down, I legit was about to start like hugging him in front of people at work, because we were about to start going out on dates and all this stuff, being public. Because in my mind, I had been being very, very, very intentional about not doing the most, because I told him, I said, I can't do the most. I used to do the most. Whenever I do the most, y'all show out. So let me sit down somewhere. I'm not finna do all that. And I just told him, I'm beginning to like you. I'm trying not to like you. And he trying to say, don't fight it, blah, 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 all this other stuff. Ain't nothing wrong with that. I like you a lot too, and whatever. Meanwhile, you at the house with your wife. Meanwhile, you back with your wife. He still, to this day, right in this moment, still has not told me any of this. He don't know that I know everything I know. He don't know that I know he tried to roll up on my friend. He don't know. He don't know to this day that I know that. All the times I tried to tell him, you need to talk to these people that I know are up his alley, because I know the type of women he liked as far as what the looks are. He would give me all these excuses. No, they ain't my type. Their mind, their mental ain't there. They act too mature. Oh, she ain't my type. She doing this, she doing that. I could tell she liked me, but And I mean, these are people who really liked him, knew he was married and all that. I'm like, oh, you might need to go talk to them, because I'm not finna be screwing you. We not finna be going on no dates and you married. No, what that look like? You ain't even taking your own wife out on no dates. Why would I be going out on a date with you? Like, this ain't no business meeting. That'd be different if it was a business meeting, you own the business, and I'm trying to, you know what I'm saying, we trying to close a deal or something, but we ain't at no place like that where we out talking business. That ain't it. To me, it was perfectly fine for us to walk, because we were walking and we were talking about work. We would walk for an hour or two, however long we could walk, and we were literally venting about work. Like, that was it. The only time he said something to me when we were walking was right before we started walking that day, when he saw them boots, and he was like, oh, I can't wait to take you out on a date. You look good in them boots. I'm like, yeah, you're going to have to get divorced before I consider a date. And that was the end of that conversation. Like, we were never walking and talking like, ooh, I'm finna do this to you, and ooh, I'm finna do that. Like, it was literally work, because so much would go on that we wouldn't know, because we now work in two different capacities. So he telling me all about what's going on where he at, and I'm telling him all about what's going on where I'm at, and we both understand from both perspectives because we work there. But that was it. So anyway, y'all, thank y'all for tuning in to the foolishness. I'm gonna definitely have to make it into a story time about what's going on that is stressing me to the max, y'all. I'm so stressed out. I know I look like a raccoon and some more around the eyes, more than usual. But anyway, thank y'all so much. Thank you. Continue to pray for me. Y'all have a good day. Bye.